Aqua here again. Welcome back to Feed the Beast DW20 1.7.10. It's been a few days since I've recorded, and I've done quite a bit of stuff off camera. I'm going to talk. This is mostly going to be a talky episode because I've done quite a bit of stuff. I was starting to get a little bit in front of my episodes, and I don't like doing them too far in front, so I have not recorded for I think about 2 or 3 days. Because I've been playing quite a bit, I ended up doing I think 2 episodes on last Saturday, 2 on Friday. So I ended up a little bit in front anyway. So I've done a lot of stuff. Now, the techie stuff I've done is pretty much only because I needed it to help me do other stuff. So I've got a big list of things here that I need to talk through. But I'll start with that, explain 2 deaths. Move Destiny's Barrel. We'll start with them 2. So this is also going to give away something else that I've done. Ooh. So if we come in here, and something else that I've done. If we come in here, you'll see that the barrel is now over here. It is at 63 million buckets, and I've got a little bit of a control on here using just a basic gate and a cobble structure pipe. I've got it so that if the drum is full, then it puts a redstone signal in, so it actually turns it off when the drum's full. So that just feathers on and off when things are running. So there's that. I came around the other day and this was just full of mobs. And like an idiot, I was trying to see if something was broken down there. Oh, the fans aren't turned on. Full. There we go. That's why that ain't gone up. So just sort of been sat there with nowhere to go. So like an idiot, I went in there, and a concussion creeper spawned next to me and exploded me into there. So I was in amongst all the mobs, and I died. So that was my first death. And then, no, first death must have been out here. I must have got out here then. Oh, that was it, yeah. Concussion mob spawned me out here with a load of mobs. So I was out here fighting and I died there. Then I run back through, I thought all the mobs had gone. I run back through and a fallen knight just ran up. I run back through to take my stuff, and a fallen knight ran up and just killed me there, one hit me. So that is the 2 deaths. So I'm now up to 7 deaths. So let's remove them 2. Yeah, now up to 7. I ain't doing too bad, but it's not great, is it? 7 bloody deaths. Right. One of the things I've been doing is I've been building in the west wing, which is that one, and as you can see, it's actually got a roof on it. So we're going to go look at that in a minute. That I've spent about 2.5 days. I've rebuilt it all inside, and it's took me absolutely ages to build. I don't think I'll do a build this big again. It's just the sheer size of it. I've got like roofs to do still. I've got that massive area over there that's got nothing in it. A huge area there. I've got loads of stuff to decorate and stuff. We'll start going through that. To help me with that, because I was knocking loads of bricks down, I wanted a hammer from Tinker's Constructs. So I made a hammer. It's a cobalt hammerhead, paper plates, and a thaumium rod. Now, I haven't covered I haven't covered Tinker's Construct because everyone starts with Tinker's Construct. So I think if you watch anyone's videos, older ones a man, or anyone else's, you'll know all about Tinker's Construct. So that's why I don't really cover it. So what I really did, all I did is I threw together a big smeltery, and you cannot do thaumium in there, so that shouldn't be in there. Actually, you do thaumium over here, is what I did. I must have left them in there. So I made a few plates. My plan was to put villagers in here as well, but it turns out I'm getting quite a lot of emeralds, and I'll show you why in a minute. So that's why I made some gem casts. I was going to start getting emeralds. If you put an emerald, basically to make a cast, you put a thing in there that you want a cast of. So if you put an emerald in there, pour some aluminium brass on it, and it'll make a cast of it. So that's what I've got a cast of. As you can see, I've got a hammerhead cast. And I've got a wooden paper plate and a wooden tough rod pattern. The plate pattern. The plate I used paper, so that doesn't need to be in the smeltery. And the tough rod pattern I used thaumium, so that doesn't need to be in the smeltery. Because you do that in here as well. So you'd put the plate in there. I'll show you. So if I want to make a tough rod, put that in there, put them in there, and that gets you a thaumium tough rod. Thaumium adds an extra modifier. That's why I've used thaumium. Paper adds extra modifiers, and they don't take anything away from the tool. So, and cobalt is the fastest head. So basically what I've got is a really fast hammer that, for doing big building work, can knock out 9 bricks at a time, which is what I wanted it for. Because knocking out bricks one at a time gets quite tedious. Now this pick does 3 bricks down when it's powered, but it's still not 9 bricks, is it? So I thought it was worth making, so I made that. While I was doing that, because I had this here, I did a load of aluminium blank casts, aluminium brass blank casts. Aluminium brass, by the way, is just copper and aluminium, 3 aluminium to 1 copper. So I made a load of them, and from them I made a load of drawbridges. So they use aluminium brass ingots and casts up there, and then just some bronze, which is copper and tin, of course, and dispensers. So I made a stack of 64 of them, and I've used most of them. I'm going to use 5 more in a minute on cam. I've upgraded all the ones that I've used up to the upgraded version of these, which is called the advanced drawbridge, and I'll tell you for why when we get to that bit. The cobalt I made, I went and mined 8 bits of cobalt from the nether, and it turns out this flux infused pickaxe can mine cobalt, so I didn't have to make an alumite pick. So this can mine cobalt for you, so that's worth knowing because you can get them quite early. So you can skip doing some of the tinker stuff if you go for one of them, even though it does take a few diamonds. Yeah. So I made some cobalt, and I smelted my cobalt using the cinnabar in the induction smelter. So there we go, cinnabar, cobalt also. I've got 3 ingots for each one. So of the 8 that I mined, I've got 24 ingots. 8 of the ingots went into my head, my hammerhead, and the rest are there. Now the upgrades I put on this, if we're looking here, I'll show you the upgrades. I modified it with flux, and I modified it with redstone. So redstone had speed, so I made it as fast as possible. So it's got a 36.79 mining speed. I've added no extra modifiers. I could add some more, so I could add fortune or something else onto this if I wanted to. And I've also added flux. Now the flux upgrade is just a leadstone energy cell. What that does is it makes it powered. So now my wireless charger up there charges this guy up. It's got 400,000 RF in it. So there we go, I've been using that for building. So I suppose I should go and talk to what I've been building then before I do anything else. So I've covered the depth, building working reactors is lots of stuff there, look, right. So first of all, I think this is how it was. First of all, I've tidied up the entrance areas. I thought it was weird that you could walk straight in and walk into where the reactor was, so I decided to change things around a bit. So I've made it a nice little entrance area. And the other one's the same at the other end, apart from the other one at the other end's got red seats instead of blue seats. Nice BW craft paintings on the wall. I love these paintings. You make a canvas in a printing machine, which I've got one over there. Then you can set the size and the resolution in this. So really cool. I don't think I'm using the frames right though, because the frame's only under one corner. But I like them a lot. They're really nice, especially with the high resolution. Just look a bit crisper. So this stuff is called Alf Glass from Britannia. I've used a load of it. I have got a bit carried away with the use of this. That you get by throwing glass through your Alfam portal. So it doesn't actually cost anything. All it costs is basic glass. It comes back, it's this nice connected texture. You can break it and it doesn't smash, and it's a light source. Really nice glass. I kind of like the pattern on it as well. So I've been using a lot of that, you'll see. This side's the security centre, and again, the other end's the same, exactly the same as this, apart from the other one's got red seats and it hasn't got a printing thing up there. But I put a computer in here, so I've got a nice little. This is the design I've copied from Liara on the Resident Rise server, using the vented bricks, them guys on the door. It makes it look like a vented door. Quite cool. Let's put a bit of decoration in here. Basically, there's a printing press. That's what you get your paintings. You make a blank canvas, and you can choose Bibliocraft or vanilla. And I believe on the Resident Rise server we've also got a custom one, so you can put custom ones in there, which I guess are only client side unless you put them actually onto the server. And then I suppose you can have server side ones as well, which is really cool. And then just down here, that's just that's a modular power suit tinkering table, and that's just a basic computer and disk drive that I've got. I made a blank disk drive because I thought I needed one, but I didn't. So there's no programs or anything in there. And I've got a little seat there for my security men, so I'm going to put a security guard in here at some point. And then if you look over here, you will see that, in fact, you can kind of see something else up there as well, kind of windows. You'll see that I made another reactor. In fact, I made another 3 reactors. So I've got 4 reactors. These other 3 are not wired up yet. I've also started making capacitor banks, but I'm going to need a load of them to have it looking how I want. But I'm thinking 3 high and 5 wide. 1, 2, that's 2, yeah, 2, 3, 4. 3 high by 5 wide there, and then the same in another 3 places. So that's what I've done reactor wise. I've just built some more. I've not actually wired them up, so we're just running off this one still. That is spare. I'm going to take that down while I'm here. I pulled a couple of the redstone energy cells down that I'd been using. One was powering the pneumatic craft stuff, and one was powering the XP farm. And I've pulled them down and I've upgraded them to resonant, so they're both in there now. And yeah, so that is all done with reactors. I will be making big turbines. I've decided I'm going to have 4 reactors with 4 big turbines, but for now I'm just running off that one because that's powering me okay. I'm going to upgrade my quarry to make it real fast and see how much power it takes. Right, so I'll quickly show you this end, show you it's the same. There's a little security office. There's reactor 3, and there's reactor 4. Wonderful. I'm bottling bits of wood down, I don't like them. Taking them down. So, look up here. Wow, what's in there? Wow! I've done a massive rebuild in this wing, so that's what I'm going to show you now. I've got carried away, I really have. I put an extra couple of lifts in, elevators, and I've automated all the doors, apart from the last one that I've not made yet. I'm going to make on camera in a minute. I've not done a door yet there yet, have I? So I have to do that as well. But this is my ground floor. This one's empty at the minute. It's like a bit of a garage, isn't it? I've kind of gone with I've tried to follow the same pattern everywhere. So what I've done is I've split the upstairs rooms into 6 rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm better off showing you actually upstairs. And this is the magic side of the building, of course. So that's what each floor is dedicated to a thing. The enchanting room's only like 2 rooms really, but blood magic is nothing up there yet. But I'm starting to spread out on the rooms upstairs. I didn't like the way I had all this space, but there was like 7 wide floor there and a 7 wide floor there and all the gap in the middle. So I didn't actually have much space to actually build bigger stuff, which I didn't like. So we'll go up to the floors in a minute. I just want to quickly step into here. I've changed this thanks to a comment that someone said to me, why don't you have it so that it's up when the sword's in and down when the sword's off? And that was actually really simple to change that. So there we go, let it go all the way down and then I'll put it back up again. Boop. So the sword in powers it up, the sword down turns it off. Let's turn my light on and I'll show you how we achieved that. So all I did was, that was a toggle latch there. Instead of it being a toggle latch now, I've taken the toggle latch out and I've put a NOT gate there, so that when the power is on, so when the sword is in the pedestal, the signal goes this way, which flicks that one, which is the one to raise it up. So that being left on doesn't matter because that's toggled on anyway, so you can leave that on. When I take the sword out, the power goes off and the NOT gate triggers this side, which is the one that brings it down again. So it's just really nice and simple. It just takes it on and off when the sword's in, so it's actually controlled off the sword now, which looks a lot better than having to put the sword in and out again. So that is working very nice. I'm using a load of LP now. I had it turned off yesterday when I came back and checked out, it was 2 million. It's back up to 7. My server's been off overnight, so it's back up to 7 million, so it's getting back up there, so I'll be leaving that on. Right then, so let's go through the floors. Start with our Britannia floor. So I'm splitting things into rooms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a load of advanced information panels from nuclear control, which we'll talk about this episode as well. I'll try and get a couple of med. And I'm going to put signs outside each of the doors for what's in each room. So this is my power room. This is where I'm generating my mana using these 8 Serenade of the Nevers family setups. So that's that. So I've just got a Gaia mana spreader on each 8 of these, firing it into the mana distributor, which is putting into them 4 mana pools, which of course are sparked. Then the next room, it's like my crafting room, I guess. So I've got my runic altar in the middle. I've got this with a dominant spark on, so this is what pulls the mana from them 4 mana pools, and that's got my conjuration catalyst underneath. At the minute I've got 2 mana spreaders pointing at the runic altar, so I can make things really fast because they both pull out of that pool. What I can do is I can also turn one to this pool, which I've put another spark over, and this one's got what's called a dispersive spark. that right? Caps lock's on. Yeah, Dispersive Spark. What this does is, I'm not actually using any mana based stuff, but if I did have, and I had a mana ring on, so if I had this stuff on, and a mana ring, where's the mana ring? I seem to have misplaced my mana ring. Is it in there? Oh, there it is. Turns out I've got loads. I upgraded these with Terra Steel, so the old miles more. So if I've been using this mana and it took some damage, just being in this room, that will send mana at me. So that Dispersive one actually automatically fills up your rings or your mana tablets or whatever you've got. So that's really cool as well. Yeah, unfortunately they're all full, so I can't really show you. I've got loads of mana stored in stuff. They hold a lot more than a mana tablet, which is why I've got them. So I think they hold at least twice as much as a mana tablet. So that's pretty cool as well. Right. So that's this room. And then of course I've got my Petal Apothecary and my Everfull Urn there, and my glowstone and nether quartz. Next room we have got the portal. So I've just got the portal in here. That's just getting run by 4 Thermalilies, 2 on each. So mana spread out 2 on each. Oh, one other thing I didn't mention. Oh no, we're not in the right room yet. So there's my portal. That's just got a room of its own. And then in here we have got the flower room. That's the setup that automates the flowers. I've actually got no Thermalilies on this yet. I've decided to go with Thermalilies for everything in this playthrough. I'm just going to power everything off Thermalilies. In my other playthrough, I'm trying to do everything apart from Thermalilies. So because I've used them excessively in this series, I'm not going to use them in the other one. There's that, and this has also got a spark on. So when this is full, when I turn this on eventually, which I've not yet, this mana spreader, which is currently pointed outside, and I'll tell you for why. This mana spreader will be pointed at that mana pool, which will fill it up, and that's also got a spark, which will send mana to this dominant spark, which we can use for making more clay and brick, which are in this room. I'm also going to put living wood and living stone automation in here to fill me a barrel full of living wood and living stone. That's going to both go in there, and then the other room's empty. So that's the Britannia floor. So yeah, that dominant spark will pull mana from that one, so that'll stay full off that, and then that one will fill up. So these will both be full enough, I reckon. This at the minute is turned. That's got the phantom lens on that I made quite early in the series. That is turned to face that pool down there, and it reaches. And because it's got the phantom lens on, it can shoot through the walls and stuff. So if I want to make any more mana still, because we're currently on a version that uses the beacon still, if I want to summon Gaia spirits, because I think you need to have a mana pool near them for that as well, don't you? Then that mana spreader there actually sends to that pool, which I think is pretty cool. There we go, that's Britannia floor. Thaumcraft floor. My research area. That's just filling back up with the little stars because I had to move the table. That I noticed every single one had a star on it before I moved it. Most of them have got stars back. I've not done much in the way of Thaumcraft research really. I've not done a lot at all. But I won't dwell on that because I've got a lot to get through. That's just all my Thaumcraft based stuff. And then in the next room, I've got my. I don't know if I like the look of this, to be honest. I've got my infusing altar that I've barely used. I want to use it for the Everfull Urn. I could have put these upstairs or down below, but I want to keep it on the floor, and I didn't really have room to put them either side because that'll take 2 more rooms up. So I thought, I wonder how many I can squeeze in here. So I've got as many on the roof as I could, and then I'll just put some on these little amber totems, amber blocks around the edge. So I should have no instability, but I don't think I like the look of it, to be honest. But it's partly because of the lab-based setting, isn't it? And as you can see, I've got Alfgas, so you can see down through the floors and up through the floors there. This Tyrian brick that I'm getting really fond of, that I'm quite overusing a bit. So well, so lots of blocks I'm overusing. Laboratory blocks, clay, factory blocks. There we go, there's that room, infusion. Next room is the aspects room. This is going to have a mana, a magic mirror on the roof, which will be able to suck from there, and it's going to be linked to a magic mirror on the roof in that gap I've left there. So that'll feed all these via the magic mirror. And I'm also going to get a little golem in there to fill them up for me. And then I think that's all we've got for this. Yeah. Next floor, blood magic. Nothing in there yet, but I plan to put some. I plan to do some alchemy and stuff up there. So we'll skip blood magic floor. All I've got in there is a resonant chest with all my blood magic stuff in. Enchanting department. There's the next floor up. Yeah, I've just got my little enchanting set up, and anvil there, and enchanting table. My little book printing thing over there, and over here I've got this crazy setup that's now got 600 levels in it. This is a bit extreme. There we go. We've got 36 essence berry bushes, all sat on top of Rituals of the Green Grove. I'm running this off a Tesseract now. I've just got a Tesseract, the same one that's powering my Ender Quarry, which I've been running as well, is powering this, so that's just getting power. It's actually quite cool, this. It's getting power from one Tesseract, and it's getting auto-crafted hose from another Tesseract, which I shall show you when we go back into the workshop area. And that was producing seeds so fast because of the green groves. I had to actually up this to 3 autonomous activators, because as you can see, even with 3 there, that middle one's bang on full. So one wasn't keeping up at all. 2 maybe will keep up, maybe ish, but yeah, I've got 3 there. So they're spitting out berries, which the vacuum hopper eats and puts into this experience obelisk, which I also made off camera, but it's really easy to make. All it is your basic machine chassis, 3 solarium there, 2 solarium around an energetic alloy there for the rod. That gets you that, and that'll store all your levels, and you can put them in or get them all out. So then, bam, look at that, 600 levels, or bam, back in, 600 levels. Cool. That I've got all the levels in the world. And then top floor witchery, nothing up here either, but I'll come up here to show you the roof. So I wanted a glass roof, but it was going to take me miles too long to do it all in carpenter's blocks. So what I've done is I've made a frame out of the factory blocks, and I've put some slopes on that to give it the impression of being sloped. And then I've used just normal glass blocks to put the glass in. So this is enough to take the hard edges off it, I think. Let me know what you think. What I was looking for a glass with connected textures, and there's none in the pack. All the modded glass is all connected textures. So all that does, it just looks like a big expanse of nothingness. I actually wanted stuff with frames. I could have done that by, again, using carpenter's blocks, but I didn't want to. What I've actually used is this vanilla light grey stained glass, which has got a bit of a border on it. It's just enough to break it up. Now there is my first roof, and that one's going to be the same. What do you reckon? Look alright? I said before, just in case you was wondering, I'm not actually going to put the towers on until I finish everything else. They're going to be the last things to go on, the chimney stacks. I've got carried away with stuff. It's taken me ages. I've been putting like frames around stuff. I'd like to put frames all around the windows, and I'd also like to put the wooden frames all around the inside of the windows, but I don't know if I'm going to be bothered, to be honest. It's a little bit too much attention to detail. So that upstairs is empty. As you can see in there, I have got, there's a light source. It looks like they've been lit by these. There's like a stack of these in each room. So what's that? 6 rooms, 6 floors, 36 stacks. Each stack takes 4 stacks of glowstone, I think. So it's a lot. It's a lot of glowstone I've gone through. This is not actually lit through this. It's actually lit under the floor. And this is something I've changed. The carpenter's blocks in a newer version than what's in the pack. You can put a carpenter block down, and you can shift click glowstone dust onto it like you would a dye, and that's a light source. What I've done is I've manually updated carpenter's blocks because they're so good for a light source. They spread wider than the painted blocks, the painted glowstone blocks from Ender.io, and also if you put something on top of them, it doesn't block the light out from them. So all my floors are all lit using that. The walls and these floors are lit using the alpha glass because, as I said, it's a light source. And as you can see there, I've put windows to the outer towers in all these as well. So once I've got the big turbines in there, depending on how high the big turbines are, you'll be able to see the big turbine through the glass. What do you reckon? So that is what I've spent about 2.5 days doing that, and I need to do this side as well now, which is a bit of a ball ache, I think. But yeah, this I've got like all this room, but because these are only 7 wide, I've actually not got a lot of floor space for stuff, which is what I didn't like, and it was starting to bother me. So I thought rather than just let it bother me, I got on with it and got it done. So that is covered what I've built. So I have building work and the reactors, and yeah, right. So next thing then, quickly while we're in here, I've upgraded my pneumatic craft network here to advanced pressure tubes, so they run to all the elevators. I've also changed these. I was using kinetic compressors. I've changed these to flux ones. The flux ones are actually RF, kinetic or MJ Buildcraft ones. So I've changed these to the flux ones. These can take speed upgrades, and I tried 10 speed upgrades in that. And even though I had all security upgrades in these, and the back of my reactor pressure chamber blew off, and my assembly controller blew up. Unfortunately for me, the assembly controller takes printed circuit boards, and if you look how you make them, you actually make them in the assembly using the assembly controller. So I had to go back old school way and make them using the bucket of acid and the UV lamp, which is why I've got the UV light box on there. So I've made some PCBs doing that. I have got loads of plastic. I guess that's what I should cover next. So these flux compressors, they seem to pull more power than the kinetic ones, but I reckon with speed upgrades I can send the pressure right up in these if I wanted to. I actually don't want to, so I've left them at 5, and I've just got my safety tube module on there, and there's that resonant energy cell that I upgraded. So right, while we're talking about pneumatic craft, a couple of comments that I got told me about a DW20 video from a crash landing series he did with Pymar, which had a much better way of doing the seeds, and I have changed my setup to do it, and it's miles better than the one that I was using. The one I was using was alright, but it kept stopping, and it was alright, but it wasn't good, let's say. And it's the one that I've seen on most videos. Now, this one that DW20 did, he did it on a video. He says on the video he did it from actually. He's just out from actually playing with VSWE, who actually makes the Steel Factory Manager mod and other mods, of course. So this setup's much simpler. I'm going to quickly show you it, but I'm not going to dwell on it too much. But that's the old setup. That's all disconnected now, so that can all go in the bin. So that's the setup I did last episode, can all go. Basically what we've got here, normal trigger. We've got a condition here that's checking the block gate, and it's seeing if there is 2 seeds. Now this is a bit that DW20 explained that's really cool. The block gate's not actually looking what's in the block, it's looking what would be in the block if it was broken. Does that make sense? So rather than seeing a plant there, what that's seeing at the minute, that's seeing 1 seed. When it gets to a point where it gives 2 seeds, that's seeing 2 seeds. That makes sense? I hope it does. So what that's looking for there, that condition, is looking for when the block in front of the block gate is 2 seeds. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me, but I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. So if the condition's true, it is 2 seeds, then the block gate triggers and outputs to the barrel, and then the barrel outputs back to the block gate and puts a seed in it, so that's set to output a single seed. So that throws throws a single seed back out the block gate, back into the thing there for the next one. So this item valve is not needed, this block detector is not needed, and to be honest, the machine inventory manager and the block gate's all you need, because you wouldn't need any inventory cable either, because you'd have them touching each other. So it's a lot simpler. So this is a totally overcomplicated way of doing it. That's a really easy way of doing it. All you need is an inventory manager and the block gate. And the way DW20 did it, he did it with a row of block gates and a variable setup, so it just did a for each for all of them, which once I've rebuilt this side, I'll be doing that, and I'll do all the seeds. Not that I'm going to need them, I don't think. I might get into drones actually, because they look fun. I've seen Etho playing with them. Yeah, they look like a lot of fun. So there we go, that's the pneumatic craft upgrades I've done. So I'm getting loads of seeds, so I have got all the seeds I need to upgrade all my elevators when I get a newer version of pneumatic craft that allows for the multi-block elevators, which I don't know if I'm going to do, because even with all the plastic sheets, I think I need like 500 stacks of iron or something. It takes a lot, so done that and done that. Showed you the auto change. I've shown you the smeltery. I'll just mention about the emeralds then. So emeralds, I was going to melt villagers down. You can chuck villagers into a smeltery and they'll give you emeralds. So I spawned a lot of villagers and I just left them in here. I thought I'll see how many emeralds I get. I emptied this yesterday. This had like 2.5 rows full of emeralds. So the shedding that Britannia adds. Britannia had a thing called shedding, that mobs will drop what they naturally drop. If that makes sense. So what they naturally have on them. So emeralds, villagers have emeralds, so they occasionally drop an emerald. Vacuum chest just picks them up. Same as chicken, drop feathers, and so on. So that is how I've got a lot of emeralds. So I'm just gonna leave them guys in there. In fact, I'm thinking of tactically placing them around the base at some point, so they actually look like staff. I'm gonna try and get the ones that have got white coats, so they look like staff. So I'll have like security guys and I'll have lab techs and stuff. And where I'll have them captive in areas with vacuum chests that send... It's quite expensive on vacuum chests, but I don't care about expense now. I'm to the point where I've got loads of resources, so that's all good. So that's that bit covered. Talking really quick, I hope I'm not talking too quick. Drawbridges, right, I'm going to make the last one. I've saved one to do on camera. So I've not done this one yet. Drawbridges, I mentioned quickly how I made the basic ones there. So I've got some basic ones. I want 5 of these guys. So I see that's the recipe for them, pretty straightforward. And then if we take 5 of these plates and 5 of these aluminium and brass ingots and run over here. I like these. They're running off pressure plates, which I'll show you again in a minute. I kind of like the way that happens as well, because I've got the paving stones of ward in there. When the door opens, it looks like they've been placed again, so you get that little nice Thaumcraft graphic coming off them, which is pretty cool. The thing I like about these doors is they keep the connected textures of the blocks, so the doors look really cool, but they don't actually move up like doors. In the future, I'll probably just use Carpenter's blocks garage doors if that stays with us, of course, because he has said that he might not update it for 1.8. But even though the Carpenter's ones do not have the connected textures, they're just so much simpler than having to mess around making the Tinker's ones. Even though the Tinker's ones are awesome, let's not mess about, but they do take a bit of doing, partly because they need the redstone control that I'm going to put on as well. So here we go, we've got 5 advanced drawbridges. Now the difference with these and the basic ones is, the basic ones you can only have 1 block in. I think the advanced ones are faster as well, so we only have 1 block in these ones as well. It's in the outside 2, but I think to have them running at the same speed as the inside 3, we'd need them to be like I'm going to do them. So I've not got no blocks ready, so let's get me 3 of them. So I've been using the Ender IO quite clear glass for this, and I need some factory blocks, which I should have in there. There we go. So the first part then is to actually build what needs to go into these. So the first thing, you've got a slot there which disguises the block. This doesn't have connected textures, which is weird because the doors do. Yet well, I suppose because that's separate blocks, whereas that's all part of the same thing. So these are not connected textures when you put these disguise things in. What you've got in here though, you've got this inventory, and this is where you can place what blocks you want. So you can have all the same block, which we are going to have on these outside columns. In these inside columns, so there's the camouflage, I'm going to have 2 of them and 2 there. I'm going to have glass in the middle, and that's what gives us the window in the middle of the door there. So on to the next one, and then quickly get these last 2 done, and there. There we go. So they're all in, but the door's up. So what I need to do is I need to turn that off because I'm knocking too much bricks out. What I need to do is get some redstone onto this now. So this is what makes it, oh, not awkward is not the right word, but you do have to be able to fit it into your build because it does need a bit of redstone involved with this. So what I'm going to do is, I'll show you what I made in here. I've got some red alloy wire, I need my screwdriver, and this isn't the cheapest way of doing it, but again, I'm at a position now where I've got quite a lot of resources, so I don't mind doing it expensive. So I have, instead of running redstone cable, red alloy cable under the floor, I've made a load of wireless transmitters and receivers. This is door number 5, I think. So if we jump up here, first thing you need, in fact, is if we jump up here, you need to have some form of redstone touching all the advanced drawbridge blocks. There we go. So I've got a red alloy cable running across the top of there. Now what we do, if we come up here, if I can actually climb in there without making myself look like a fool, I am going to bang a NOT gate on the side of this one. Bang. There we go. That door's just gone down. Because the NOT gate's putting a redstone signal in, that puts it into its closed state rather than its open state, which is what we want. Now, with my screwdriver, I'm going to turn that round so the inside's that side. And just so it doesn't mess around, if you shift click these, you can actually set which ones of the output terminals you want on. So I only want the one out that's going up. Just in case I have any more redstone around here. I noticed with them lamps, the inverted lamps on the other side, that it was turning them off. And seeing that works around the corner, which is also very cool. So I actually don't need to run red alloy cable around here anywhere. That actually works on the corner. What's also very cool is these are multi-part blocks. So the wireless receiver can go there. And if I shift click that, I can turn it around. And multi-part blocks. So look at that, there's 3 blocks. The 3 things are all in one block. Very nice. Look in there, I want door 5. So you can see I've got a frequency there for my blood altar, and I've got doors 1 through 11. So I've got a separate frequency for each door. I was toying with having them all on the same one, so if you went to 1 it'd open all of them. But I thought that's just unnecessary. So there we go, that. I can cover that up. And then that is a nice bit of hidden redstone control. Now, the only other bit we need is to actually trigger it to open. Let's just put these back. And quite simply for that, I am using silent shrouded obsidian pressure plates. Nether quartz and glowstone around them makes them shrouded, and any colour wool underneath them makes them silent, and then 2 obsidian is what you make in the first place. Nice little mod this, I've always liked it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Have I not set the... I have not got the thing below, have I? I've not put the transmitter on below, so we're locked in. Let's go around here. So you stand on the pressure plates, that puts the redstone, that turns the redstone signal off. So these are all the same, they've all got the little setup in that corner there. That turns the redstone signal off, lets the door open, and then once you come through, the redstone signal goes back on and shuts your door. Nice and simple and discreet when you're using the redstone, using the wireless. I say it's a little bit less discreet when you're not using the wireless. But all I've got underneath each door is this little H symbol, H setup, and if I put in there that, set that to, I'm double clicking door 4 then just change it to door 5 because it only shows so many on there for some reason. Oh, because I'm not scrolling down is the reason. That makes sense, doesn't it? So there we go, that's all you need. Red alloy wire underneath where the pressure plates are, just running across underneath the door and under to the side where the other pressure plates are, and then the transmitter there. So if we come back up now, and as you can see, there's my advanced pressure tubing for the elevators. I can come out this hole, which I should shut behind me. Also, if you put the gauge back on the advanced one, it shows you a different gauge. It gives you the gauge that goes right up to 20. The gauge on the normal tubes only goes up to 7, so the gauge changes depending on what tube you've got on, which is also pretty cool, I think. All I need to do now then is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because they're pretty much invisible, I don't mind using loads of them. I've moved them 1 block out from the thing just so you're not banging your nose right against it. But you're banging your nose against it a bit. There we go. There's our last door. So there's that done. So now everywhere is doored up. I was tempted to do all these doors as well, But the point of these is because I fly around my base, it's so I can get in and out of floors easy. So to have to land on a pressure plate kind of defeats the object of having these. So I'm leaving them open for now. I might change that. I might put doors in all them as well. Unfortunately, there's nothing in the mod pack that is a player vicinity detector. There's, I think, something wrong with random mobs that I've played with before, random things. It could detect if a player's within so many blocks, then it'd just open. Which would be a pretty cool way of controlling that, but unfortunately I've not got that. So there, all the panels that I had was sat in a bag, so I just added them onto the pneumatic craft thing. So the pneumatic craft is not pulling power from my main system, that's just using solar. Just so you know. Right then, that is that covered. Carpenter blocks update I mentioned, XP obelisk I've mentioned, haven't I? So all we've got left to do is mention the quarry alarm, and then I'm going to quickly upgrade the quarry and see how fast it can run and see how much power it draws. So this is just a little thing for me, so that if this chest gets full, that alarm goes off. So a really basic setup. I've got a comparator and a howler alarm from nuclear control. Really nice. It's just note blocks. There we go. 3 note blocks. One of them electronic circuits I made last time. Some of them iron plates I made last time. Get you this guy, howler alarm. And all I've got here, set on the positive side of the comparator, is I've got a lever over here. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So the redstone is set to 10. So when this gets about 2.5 rows full, that puts out a 10, which matches that, which sets the alarm off. So if I was to get something that doesn't stack, I can just, in fact, I'll just spread something out in there. So if this was filling up with things, why you no work? Son of a bitch, you made a liar of me. Why has it made a liar of me? Oh, you son of a bitch. That. Why didn't that work? Alright, I'm back in a sec. I'm going to investigate what's going on. Well then, every day's a school day. It turns out that it has to be full stacks of stuff that fills up, that triggers a comparator. I did not know that. I just thought if each of the slots had something in. So if we put another stack of stuff in there, then that sets the alarm off. I won't keep that running too long. But so single blocks don't do it, which I did not know. So I can spread all them out. Look, that's not enough to trigger that. But the thing is though, when you're getting stuff from a quarry, then you're only getting so many materials anyway, so you're going to get them stacks filled up anyway. So it's not like you're getting a million different stacks of stuff in, like just 1 or 2 of different items. You're going to get loads of copper, loads of iron and stuff like that. So that's still going to work fine. I've got it set at 10. Maybe I want to set it down at maybe 7 or 8, just so triggered off a little bit less. Basically though, that's just if I log on and I hear the alarm, I know something's going wrong. And generally it's a barrel's filled that I've not got an outlet for. I was getting low on coal the other day. I've run the quarry 3 times in the Underdark, and I've got 475 stacks. Now the episode's running long, so I'm not actually going to go place this episode, but I'm going to quickly tidy that up. You all get in there, and I have made some more Endarium. I've been making bits. Come on, stop failing with a spacebar tool. I've kind of rushed through this episode, and it's still like 45 minutes long, so I guess I had a lot to say. What I'm going to quickly do is just show you how you make the bits. If I can find which thing I put them in. There we go. So what we need is first thing you need is obsidian around an ender pearl. Bam. Get you 4 of them. Ender infused obsidian. You need a burnt quartz, which is also added by extra utilities, which is just cut quartz block. That turns out into an ender quarry base upgrade. And I'm going to want 2 bits of iron. Next up, we need to get 4 of these redstone blocks, 2 of them, and is it like that? There we go. That gets us 4 of these things called speed upgrades, and with 1 of them, 2 iron blocks, and our ender quarry upgrade. There we go. There's our first speed upgrade. Bam. Next, we need another one of these. And this time, 2 ender pearls, 2 diamonds, and I've got that one wrong. 2 gold, silly me. 2 gold. I guess it's a second tier upgrade. That's a 20 times power multiplier. That first one's a 5 times power multiplier. That's a 20 times. I may have to get all 4 reactors running for this. And then for the third one, we need these things called stack upgrades. Stack upgrades are like so. So what's that? There. 2 of them up there. Was it? No, it wasn't like that, was it? What was it? Stack upgrades. It was like that. I've not got enough gold. Was it like that? What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. So I need a little bit more gold. Yeah. 1 nugget. Gets me 2 of them. Excellent. And then so 2 of them, 2 diamonds. Now a tier 2 upgrade. Gets us a tier 3. Now I won't bet this one yet. What I'll do is I'll run it with a tier 2 on first and see what that does to my power, just to show you. And then we'll run it with a tier 3 on. So that'll be next episode. And also next episode, I can't keep putting it off, can I? Let's start on some of that stuff. Hope you join me for that. Cheers. Bye.